Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Rhonda. Good morning. I'm gonna let everybody filter in here because this is gonna be a very quick live, you guys. I mean, I didn't even schedule this. We're just here. We're just here doing things. 1 second. Okay. We're just here. We're just here doing things. This is gonna be like the most super quick live ever. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, Regina. This was not scheduled, guys. I wasn't even supposed to be here this morning because I was here last night. But I have been watching a couple reaction videos and listening to it a couple people and seeing a couple TikToks, and it's been bothering me. Good morning, Sleepless Sleuth. Good morning, Katie. Good morning, Alex. We're not going to be here long, guys. This is going to be a really quick live, but I cannot stand um, when people are not correct. I genuinely can't stand it. So this is gonna be really quick, but I just want you guys to understand what a master Alan Jackson is. And like I said, this wasn't even supposed to happen this morning. We are still coming with Sister Wives later. This is going to be very quick because I have to get up. I have to run. I have to take my daughter to take her senior pictures. Today is her last day of high school, so I'm in a glass case of emotion. Anything could set me off. Literally anything. I'm just, I don't know what to do with myself. Literally anything could bring on the waterworks. So I'm just in a state right now. But I had to come on and explain the master that is Alan Jackson. Good morning. Here comes drama. Good morning, Morrissey's iCloud, aka Denise. Good morning. Here comes the drama. Real quick. As you see on my screen, this is Alan Jackson's demonstrative. Okay. And I need you guys to understand the master at work. Okay. This is all first, and I think it was hard to understand because of the way that lady was talking. I told y'all last night she got on my nerves. I don't know why, but the way she was answering questions and the way there was a pause between every word got on my nerves. It just got on my the way she was talking, I think it was making it hard for people to understand what Jackson was getting at and what he was saying. But I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you because I've watched a couple recaps from people. I've watched a couple TikToks from people. And I think you guys don't understand how, first of all, like I said last night, I didn't think that Bev allowed demonstratives because I feel like last trial, all I kept saying was, can somebody put up a chart? Can somebody put up a chart? Who's who, where was where, and what's the timeline? And I feel like she wouldn't let him. But what he did here was masterful. And I'm going to explain to you why. These are all the things that was recovered. Good morning, Peanut, from 34 Fairview and from her bumper. These are the pieces recovered by Buchanan. These are the pieces recovered by Proctor. 7-12 was recovered by Buchanan. 7-14 was discovered by Proctor. 3-3 is the glass that was on the bumper, and 3-2 is the cup that they found on the very first day. Now, what's happening? What Alan Jackson was trying to show you is that all the glass on the bumper, not one piece of the glass on the bumper matched the cup. Are you with me? Are you with me? Because what they are trying to say is that she backed into him while he was holding his cup and the glass shattered and all the glass landed on the bumper, except none of the glass on the bumper matched the cup. Okay? The glass on the bumper only matched glass that Proctor just so happened to find in the street. All right, so we've moved on from the cup. The cup that was found does not match the glass on the bumper. The glass on the bumper only matches glass that Proctor found in the street, which nobody knows where it came from. Are we together? Are we together? We're here, right? We're matching. See, because I have seen people talking about this and they're like, I don't get it. It doesn't matter. It matters. It matters because if there is no other evidence that Proctor planted evidence, it is this glass, because where does it come from? What does it go to? Did John have two glasses? He got out of the car double-fisted? The cup that they found on the very first day. Remember, the very first day they went out there with the snowblower looking for blood, they found a piece of a glass. They didn't find no red taillight pieces, but we're not going there right now. We're working on glass. We ain't talking about that right now. Right now, we're talking about the cup. There was glass all over the bumper. Okay. And the prosecution, the Commonwealth, will have you believe that that glass from the bumper came from her hitting John O'Keefe with his glass in his hand and it's shattering all over the bumper. That's what they're trying to insinuate. Except the glass from the bumper doesn't match the cup. Okay? The glass from the bumper doesn't match the cup. The glass from the bumper only matches glass that was recovered by Proctor. Does this make sense to everybody now? Because I was so annoyed listening to people talk about this yesterday. This was the most amazing demonstrative you could give me, and it's what I need. It's what I need in my life. I'm a picture person. Okay? I'm a show me a picture type of person. Because the insinuation should now be, where did this glass come from? Proctor, the same Proctor you won't even let us meet if I'm the jury. Where does this glass come from? Proctor. Doesn't match anything. You magically found this glass in the street and it happens to be on the bumper. Exactly. Sprinkle me, baby. Sprinkle me, baby. That's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. And this shows the jury that. And I feel like this is the reason why she and Lally did not want to use the actual names of the things. Because if you talk in numbers, nobody knows what you're talking about. 7-12 match, 7-2 and 3-2 match. Nobody knows what you're talking about. Nobody knows what you're talking about, which is why Alan Jackson kept trying to say, so wait, the cup didn't match anything on the bumper. Okay, the cup didn't match anything on the bumper. The only glass on the bumper that matched anything came from Proctor. Very freaking peculiar. I think that Proctor absolutely planted evidence. And he may have planted it because he already thought he could actually think she's guilty. And he just wants to up the ante a little bit. But if y'all don't think that Proctor put that glass on that bumper, I'm no longer having a conversation with you. Because where did it come from? This magic glass that happened to be there after her car has been put up on a tow truck, come down from a tow truck, went here, there, and everywhere. The glass is still on the bumper. Doesn't match the cup, though. Doesn't match the cup though. Him and Buchanan got they wires crossed. That's all I wanted to come on here and say, because it was making me so mad. Listening to people talk and be confidently wrong stresses me out. It makes me so mad. It was giving me a headache yesterday. Like, what don't y'all get? This is beautiful. This is beautiful to me. This makes perfect sense to me. This makes perfect sense. We got A, B, C, D, E, F, I, K, L. Those are all the pieces of glass. None of that bumper glass is cup glass. Where does it come from? And how come you have to be the one? See, that's the problem with Proctor. He got too greedy. That's his problem. He got too greedy. You see, why did you have to be the one to find the glass? He got too greedy. He got too greedy. You should have sent in somebody else. Sent in your little flunky, the same one who lied for you and said he was in that interview, Connor Keith. Because Connor Keith was not in that interview with Proctor, but he took one for the team. Why you ain't send him in there to find it? You got too greedy. You got too big for your britches. This right here is all the reasonable doubt you need. And it's why Alan Jackson is a master at work. Because I don't think you get that from Lally's questioning. I don't think you get that understanding of what she's saying if you only listen to Lally. And I think it's purposeful. I think you sit up there and say 3-3 doesn't match 7-12, doesn't match 7-14, doesn't match 3-2. If you put 3-2 into 7-12, I think that's purposeful. Because what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Thank you, K. Schmidt. While you're at it, was lost about the 3-point turn. Oh, we can talk about the 3-point turn. Let's put that up there. We can talk about the 3-point turn. The 3-point turn is important to the Commonwealth because that is when, how do I explain this? That is when they're using their timestamp in order to time everything else. Okay, how do I explain this? So Burgess, for all of his flaws, Burgess is saying that the time on the iPhones and the time on the Lexus does not match. Okay, so in order to correlate them, he has to find a time and space and then work backwards from there. Everybody agrees that she missed Fairview and had to do a 3-point turn. So they're using the 3-point turn as basically their anchor point. The Lexus tells us, I'm just making up time. The Lexus tells us the 3-point turn happened at 12:22 on the Lexus clock. So then you look at the iPhone clock and you say, okay, what time does the iPhone say at that point? Say the iPhone says 12:23 and some change. And then you get the differential in time. And so now you can figure out what the iPhone was doing at a certain time whenever the Lexus was doing what it was doing. I hope that makes sense. The problem is that you got Burgess to talk about that and nobody understands what he's talking about. And the other problem with that is he acts like that his formula only works for times after the 3-point turn. Because I don't know if you guys picked up when Alessi was asking him, like, okay, but what about before that? Like, his differential in time was 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. It's like, that's not how that should work. That's not how that should work. Either the time is 20 seconds off or it's not. Does the time speed up? These are not analog clocks. These are digital clocks. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The problem is, I feel like Burgess, for all his problems, he did what he's trying to say the defense expert is doing. And who knows, maybe the defense expert is, but they're all deciding what the differential is to make their theory work. And the only reason that Hank Brennan called Burgess is because he needed that little bit of time to shift. He needed the time of her incident in her Lexus to shift from 1231 and some change to 1232 and some change. And I feel like Burgess is the only one who would do that for him. Because if it shifts, it's closer in time to when he locks his phone for the last time. And if it's closer in time to when he locks his phone for the last time, Brennan thinks that it's plausible that she hit him and still made it to One Meadows in 3.5 minutes. Now, I don't know how he's going to get over that hurdle. I think he's just not going to mention it again because that seems to be his strategy. Something I don't like, I just don't mention. I just don't talk about. I just don't say those things. Same way he has not said former Trooper Proctor this entire trial. Brennan won't even ask a question that elicits the name Proctor. So I think he's just going to magically forget that her phone connected to Wi-Fi at 1236, which is the same reason he played that clip of her saying that she got home at 1241. Even though we all know that that's incorrect. He's going to let the jury listen to her and think it's 1241. So that way she has a longer period. If you say that she hit him at 1232 and got home at 1241, that makes sense. That seems like enough time, but that's not the truth. And I think he's never, ever, ever going to mention that 1236 time again. He's never going to mention that time again. Karen's Lexus was new. They have auto braking sensors. I don't know. I think something. First of all, I have grave concerns about why they don't have all the information from this. What was it? 2022, 21 Lexus. Why don't they have all the information from this car like they had from what's his face's car down in North Carolina? What was his name? Can't remember now. Murdaugh. They had every bit of information from his truck sensor and the whatever, but I feel like they never got that from her Lexus, and that bothers me so much. The chips were damaged. Isn't that interesting, Jessica? Isn't that convenient? Isn't that convenient? Because they had every single thing from Murdaugh's truck. They had when he connected to the car's Wi-Fi, how fast he was going, when he slowed down, when he stopped at the light, when he came to the place, when he went around the corner, like when he opened the door, when he closed the door. They had everything from Murdaugh's truck. It seems like they have nothing from her Lexus, and it seems like they should. It seems like they should, because my car is a 2020, and if I start backing up too fast, it'll beep at me and let me know that you're going too fast for the sensors to catch you. And I'm only going like 7. If I'm trying to fly out of my driveway because I'm late, I might get up to 7. And my car will beep at me like, girl, you're doing too much now. You're telling me her car backed up at 24 miles an hour and y'all don't have any evidence of that on all of these digital cars that's connected to all type of satellite dishes and GPS systems and computer systems. Y'all don't have any of that? Because y'all destroyed it? Oh. Okay. That's convenient. That's convenient. What does it say? They destroyed the black box? No, I didn't know that. Remember the CW destroyed the black box on Karen Reed when they pulled out and did testing, told defense during one. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Well, isn't that convenient? Now y'all just get to guess. So y'all get to break it and just guess. What are we doing here? I'm telling y'all, we're living in a simulation. None of this is real. We're all being punked. So you get to break it and then just guess. How is that okay? Because had you not broken it, you would have very clearly, if I backed up at 24 miles an hour, what happened, when it was going, how fast I was going, how fast I was getting home. Because according to them, she was doing 100 on the highway to get back to One Meadows. If she hit that man at 12:32, she was doing 150 up residential streets in the snow to get back to One Meadows by 12:36. All of this is insane, but this demonstrative is clear evidence that Proctor at least planted that glass on that bumper. And that's such a stupid thing to do. Like, he's not even smart. I'm not in the business of framing nobody, but wouldn't it have been more plausible if the glass was like in the tire or something? Wouldn't that have been more believable than to be on the bumper when we know that the car had to be lifted onto a tow truck? I mean, if you're gonna be a criminal, at least be a smart criminal. At least be a smart criminal. Like, the Commonwealth's big ta-da is that he has pieces from remnants from the tail light in his shirt. But we see that we don't even know what y'all do with stuff. Y'all throw everything in the same bag and use the same cotton swab and put everything in the same closet. Like, do y'all really think that that is y'all smoking gun? I don't know, you guys. This case gives me aneurysms. Anywho, that was just a quick live. I just wanted to give you guys that. I know we were here last night, but listening to people talk about this stressed me out. So now you guys know, so you can go into all these different lives and all these different recaps, and you can tell them they're explaining it wrong. They're explaining it wrong. They don't understand what's happening. I don't know how. I mean, I do know how. It's because the way that lady talked was very annoying and very slow, and she wouldn't say no. She would say, well, I think it's not consistent with the material found on 7-14. What? Just say none of the glass on the bumper matched the cup. Why couldn't you say that? I don't know. None of the only bumper glass matched what we got from Proctor. Why couldn't you say that? I don't know. It's because it's the case for the Commonwealth is confusion. The case for the Commonwealth is confusion, which is why I think the defense closing is going to have to be masterfully done to bring all of this to the forefront. It's going to have to be. Because Brenda's going to get up there and just say a bunch of stuff that nobody believes, that nobody's proven. and he's going to talk around everything. And it's going to piss me off. I'm already aware. All right, guys, I got to go. I got to go take my baby to take senior pictures. I cannot believe today is her last day of high school. I am in a glass case of emotion. Anything can set me off. I am tripping out that I have a high school senior, almost freshman in college. I don't feel old enough to do all that. Matter of fact, I know I'm not old enough to do all that. This is very emotional for me. I need y'all to know I had my first daughter when I was 19 years old. Just a little bitty something at Eastern Michigan University. But I stuck it out. I had an amazing support system that did not let me fall and did not let me falter. And so I graduated college and I went to law school and I did all of that with a baby on my hip. That baby was in law school classes with me, coloring, listening to contract law. It's been me and her against the world for 17 years. And today is her last day of high school and I am tripping out. Okay. Just a. And then I started over and now I got a 4-year-old. I don't know what's wrong with me. Nobody asked me questions. That's going to send me into a tizzy. Started all over. I don't know what I was thinking about. But this one is very emotional for me. So I'm going to take her senior pictures. And then we're going to come back later and do Sister Wives because I have a bunch to say. So make sure you guys, if you're interested, join me for that later. Thank you so much for all your congratulations. I just don't even know what to do. I just can't believe it. I'm just tripped out. Last day of high school. Anyway, all right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.